Hello people, this is ArachCobra and this is the video wherein I will answer your questions. Also, I found out that I actually have a microphone in my camera, so I don't need to sit with my headset on, which is very nice, very nice. So anyway, I'm looking forward to see what you have been asking me. Let's see if I can just find it. Boom, boom, boom. Just give me a moment. Now, let's see what we have here. There it is. Let's see. That's a lot. Okay, this is a bit more unexpected. Let's see. We start with Evil Scrooge. Do you have a Christmas tree? Mm, I have a small fake one in a box in my closet out there, if that counts. What's your opinion about the Bioshock? Have you even played it? Well, yes, I played the first Bioshock. Haven't played the sequel Bioshock 2. Heard it wasn't really that good. But yeah, I liked it. I liked the whole scrounging for resources, going around the ruins, looking for stuff. I like the whole upgrade mechanics, and I like the story. Well, the first half of it and the finale. Between the, and spoiler warning for those of you who haven't played Bioshock, between the point where you bash Ayn Rand's head in with a golf club and you take down Atlas, the story seemed kind of stretched thin. Pacing there, I didn't like. It seemed like a whole lot like there was a whole lot of filler right there. But all in all, I think it was a good experience, and I do in fact look forward to Bioshock Infinite, who's coming out at some point, God knows when, and I intend to LP it when it comes out. Worst game you ever played? Worst game I ever played? Good question. I played some bad games in my time. I remember from my PlayStation, there was this game called Tunguska, I think it was pronounced, and it was a game I bought. I can't remember how much it cost. It's years ago, but I thought the game looked good, right? It was this tale of a brave hero who has to wander between dimensions and stuff. And the intro really gripped me, right? It's this guy who's going to be executed for a crime he didn't commit, and the graphics were awesome, in my opinion. I mean, people had wrinkles in their face. That impressed me. People had wrinkles, and there was this bald police officer. He had wrinkles. I mean, that just blew me away. That was top-notch graphics, and there was his soul traveling through some fire vortex pursued by a demon, and then he pops out into this mystic castle, and then the shit started. Clunky controls like you wouldn't believe it. Stiff, and the fighting system was just ridiculous, and it was just horrible. It attempted to be some sort of fighting game, puzzle game, hybrid, and that in of itself is not a bad idea. It's an unusual one, but I could see it work. And I also think the concept the game worked with could possibly turn out to be a good game. But the way they handled it was absolutely horrid, clunky. It was like controlling the main character was like controlling a wet sack of cement. And there was all these bullshit traps, and the enemies were ridiculous, and it was just horrid. So yeah, that's the worst game I remember playing. Maybe there have been worse, but if there is, I don't remember them. But I remember this game because it really disappointed me because I thought, oh my god, this is the greatest intro ever! Oh my god, this is the worst shit ever! So yeah, let's see. Coffee or tea? Tea. I don't like coffee. I rarely drink tea, however, even though I do like it. Most of all because I'm horrible at making it. Also, I easily heat up from stuff like that, so I usually only drink it when I find the weather to be cold, and that's happening very rarely. Would you go back to a piece of older classic games you haven't played? Sure. would very much like to do that. I already done that a couple of times. So yeah, I already have my eyes on a couple. So if there's one in particular you would like me to try, just make a suggestion and I'll probably get around to it. The good thing about these old games is that they're also rather cheap, so that's also a benefit. The best thing that can happen in a new year. Well, on a grand scale, I would like to see more widespread education and rationalism and skepsis, as I think those things help us evolve as a species. But if we can't have a miracle like that happening, what would be the best thing? Well, the next big thing after something like that, maybe something a bit smaller, would be getting my own TV tropes page. That would be awesome. Of course, I realize that a lot more deserving people haven't gotten one yet, so it's not something I'm really expecting, but it could be fun to have one. Will you do Alien Breed Trilogy co-op? Alien Breed, wasn't that also a Amiga game called that? Or was that something else? Maybe, sure. It's a possibility. I don't know what it is, but I can take a look at it. First video game you played? Whew. First video game I played. That must have been on the Amiga. All the way back in 1994-5, around there. The first game I remember playing was the demo versions of Super Frog. Got the full game later for my Amiga, but I had the demo version first with one of the Egyptian levels. It was fun. I had a load of fun with that demo. Played it over and over again. It was just one level, but I loved it. Fun game. Let's see. Boop. Have you played any Red Faction game? No. And that's it for Evil Scrooge questions. Thank you. Okay. Reclusia Gilpy. Oh, hi. Hi. If you got to form a party with 3 other people taken from computer console games, which 3 would it be? Huh. That's a good question. Who? Who would I really want to? Huh. Give me a moment to think about that. That's a very good question. I think I'll need time to think about that for a moment. Be right back. Okay, this took me some time to think about. I admit. So, first of all, of the ones I thought about, I think I'll go with, among others, Varric from Dragon Age 2, simply because I love that guy. Dry-wit, intelligent, yet he wasn't like cruelly sarcastic. He was friendly. He helped others and gave them a jab once in a while when they were getting too broody or getting too sulky or just getting too stupid. And I feel that's what friends should really do. Help when needed, and sometimes give their friends a kick in the ass to get on the right track, or try to get them to. I would also go with Talisaur for Nima, or whatever her last name is at this moment, from Mass Effect, simply because she's cute, she's nerdy, and she's not afraid to blow people away with a shotgun. Cute, intelligent, and dangerous. Does it get any better than that? And from a console game, I would probably think Kanji Tatsumi from Persona 4. An awesome game, by the way, and that guy's kick-ass. I mean, he's this muscular guy who can not only kick ass as a supernatural being, but also is very good with his hands when it comes to suing stuff. Really interesting character, and I really like the guy. So yeah. What is the best game you ever played? Oh, please, Reclusia, with the hard questions. The best game I ever played. Oh. Ooh, that's a hard question. I could name several. But I don't know which one of these are the best. They're also different types of games, so it's not. It's probably hard to compare. Uh, but Mass Effect, for example, the second one in particular, I think that one was better than the first for several reasons. Persona 4 is also a really good game, one I enjoy very much. Kingdom Hearts, I also like that one. But the best one, I don't know. There are also a lot of classic games that I have fond memories of. James Bond or, again, Super Frog. But I don't know which one of these I would call the best. So I just have a lot of games I remember really fondly. I don't think I could ever choose one to be the best, because these games kick ass. So yeah, I know this is a bit of a cop-out, but really I can't say which one is the best. Do you have a favorite video game song? Why do you do this to me? Favorite video game song? Oh, Jesus Christ. Um, Favorite video game song? Again, there are so many I enjoy. Also really obscure ones. Oh man. What would that questions? Honestly, I can't say I have a favorite video game song. There's a lot of them I enjoy, a lot of them I listen to, and a lot of them I give thumbs up when I find them here on YouTube. But to say that I have a favorite, there's just too many for me to just say that this one I enjoy very much. Especially considering that video game music is such a broad category, and I have a very broad taste in music. I mean, classical, rock, heavy metal, classical, orchestral, country. I can listen to many things. Doesn't matter what genre it is, as long as I think it sounds good. So again, I'm afraid I must cop out. I can't answer that. I can't just say that I have a favorite. For what games are you looking forward to the most? Well, as I already said, I look forward to Bioshock Infinite and to Guild Wars 2, which is an MMO that's not only free to play, but also seems to move a lot of things around, do a lot of things differently, and it looks very interesting so far. Other games, well, from Atlas, I look forward to Catherine finally coming out here in Europe here come February. Heard good things about it. Other games to look forward to at the moment. Not really any I can think of at the moment. Maybe there's some I've forgotten, but those are the only three I can really think of right now. And happy holidays! Thank you and likewise. Okay. Good thing you made an introduction video. Not a lot of people seem to read channel comments anyway. 1. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose? And this is from Kane Benedict. I should probably say that. If I could have any superpower. Well, I must admit I imagined myself with a lot of superpowers over the year. But if I had to choose one, hmm. I think I can think of two things I could no, three actually, but if I had to choose one, which one would that be? If I had to choose one, which one would I choose? I'd probably go with control over electricity and to the point of actually also be able to generate electromagnetism. That could be fun. Throwing lightning bolts and generate a shield powerful enough to bounce off bullets with. Yeah, I don't know if it actually works that way. I imagine electromagnetism actually works like that, but I won't say I actually studied if it works like that. But hey, it made Bison float, so why not? Assuming you replay RPGs, have you ever done something against your moral code, so to speak, for the sake of replay value or different races? Or would you do the same choices as before? Well, usually I stick to the choices I made when I replay, but sometimes I sometimes choose different things if I feel that I made the wrong choice in hindsight. I mean, I accept responsibility for the choices I make, but sometimes I look back and think, well, that wasn't the best thing to do. For example, getting a bit too hasty with a renegade option in Mass Effect, looking back thinking, okay, maybe not that one. Maybe I should just wait a bit, not do that. But usually I stick to what I've already done. Uh, which is also why I rarely replay RPGs unless it's with someone else. Because really, I'm most comfortable sticking to what I feel is right to do. And that is usually more or less putting myself in the place and in the place of the character and then choosing what I think is most what I would choose. That's also why I name all characters after myself, because honestly, it is me, more or less. Usually with a lot more power, though. 3. Who's the best Batman villain in your opinion? You guys ask some seriously hard questions, you know that, right? Best Batman villain. Hmm. Well, I've always been fond of Scarecrow, intelligent guy who creates your worst nightmare. That's always been fun. But I must admit, I also have a soft spot for the Claw King. Not the silly version, the one from the animated version who could time things so perfectly he could avoid Batman's punches. Now that's awesome. Hmm. I admit I like the Riddler sometimes, but he's just sometimes too egocentric, narcissistic to really be my favorite. So yeah, it would be. So yeah, either Scarecrow or the Clock King. Though unsure which one would be. I'd probably go with the Clock King simply because I like his dress better. I've always been a sucker for those classic stylish dresses. Want something like that for myself at some point. Just kind of expensive, so. But hey, maybe I'll get it one day. For all RPGs you played, which three have been your least favorite companions? Well, from Dragon Age 2, we have Pretty Boy. Yes, I know. A lot of people seem to like him, but I just didn't. Felt like he was constantly blaming me for all the problems he'd been through. I know a lot of people really like Fenris, found his voice very sexy or at least awesome, and found him generally awesome. And I did that at the start, but then he became more and more whiny like, oh, just look at all the bad things magic has done. This is clear evidence that all mages need to be locked up. Yeah, okay. So the guy who just stabbed a mother to free down in the back alley is a clear evidence that all males should be locked up, right? No. And it felt like he was just blaming me in the end, because he was blaming all mages for all problems, which is ridiculous. In the Dragon Age universe, it is clear that while yes, mages have caused trouble, they are not alone about it. I mean, just to take an example from the first game, Logan wasn't a mage, and yet he caused plenty of trouble. It was Logan he was called, right? I'm not misremembering anything. Not sure. Anyway, the betrayer guy, if I misremembered his name. But to choose two others? Well, I can't remember her name. It was Samara or something like that from Mass Effect 2, the Justicar, mostly because I just found her boring. I disliked Miranda initially, but I felt her character like had an arc where she evolved as a person. Most characters have that, and Samara just felt boring to me. And then third one. Hmm. I remember I played Neverwinter Nights 2 a long time ago, and it was this guy Bishop he was called, and he was just so pointlessly cruel and nasty to people, like pointlessly so antagonistic. Like I don't know why he would choose to be that. I don't know why anyone would choose to be that much of an asshole. I mean, I get bullies like get a group together and pick on the weak ones. I've been an awful victim of that myself. Uh, was just about to use the Danish word for victim, offer, but that means something entirely else in English. But this guy, he was just antagonistic to an entire group of people who could kick his ass in multiple ways with holy, dark, elemental magic, nature magic, not to mention different kinds of fighting styles. So really why he would choose to piss off a group that large of that many badasses, I don't know. He was cruel, he was evil, and he was stupid as hell. The only good thing about him was that he was apparently a tracker of some sort, and thus he was plot relevant. But other than that, I just disliked the guy. Okay, let's see. From Shinrock 54, we have, yes, I saw your face. No questions. Just happy I got to see you. Well, fair enough. Frost Serenada asks, is there a game which you didn't care about but finally appeared to be awesome? Well, I will say The Witcher. I hadn't heard that much about it, except that it was a very overly complicated, boring game. That's what I heard about it, but I gave it a try nonetheless, not expecting too much. And I was kind of blown away by it. It was a tough, unforgiving game, but that's what it aimed to be, and it was never unfair, though it was very unforgiving. And I was surprised by it. I still think there was improvements that could have been made to it, but all in all, I was very surprised by it, positively so. What kind of movies do you mostly watch? Uh, Adventure movies mostly, with fantasy elements, Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings. Also like action movies. Or comedies. Well, some comedies. That kind of depends, really. It's not all comedies I like. Some comedies are just, well, it's just this really, I wouldn't say childish humor, immature humor. That's what really puts me off. Like the scary movies, or God forbid, I saw Meet the Spartans once. It was supposed to be a comedy. That was the death of comedy, if you ask me. I mean, it's not mature humor. It's not childish humor. It was just immature, where you say fart and dick and fuck a lot, and then suddenly all kinds of fun. No, it isn't. Not in my opinion, anyway. Others seem to like it. One guy was laughing his ass off at it. So, hey, that's fine enough. It's just not for me. Um, do you like Mario? Hmm. I haven't actually played a lot of Mario games, but I'm nothing against the guy. Played uh, Sunshine and Super Mario 64. Never owned them, but friends had them. And that's just about it. But I don't mind the guy. Do you have a pet? No. Did you Ever been intoxicated during LP? No, I have never been drunk while doing an LP. I've sometimes been tired, very tired, which sometimes seems to result in almost the same. Why do you become more and more serious in your videos? Not sure I understand the question. If you mean that it's less I rant about all kinds of things that have nothing to do with the LP, like happened during the original Painkiller LP and the Titan Quest, where we just went off on tangents and talked about shit that didn't have anything to do with the LP at hand. That's because I found that to be, quite frankly, annoying when others did it, and since I don't want to do what I find annoying in other LPs, I stopped doing it. Also, I found it easier to talk about the game and also learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes there's nothing wrong in shutting up. I know I'm not the best example of shutting up, but sometimes I do it. Why won't you go HD? I actually have two videos up from the Fallout New Vegas LP that is in HD. Normally for a 50-minute clip, which I upload, it takes half an hour, 45 minutes, more or less, give or take. But when I go HD, that time triples. And that would mean that I would be very much unable to upload as many videos as quickly as I do. So I asked people, hey, I could upload this in HD, but wouldn't you rather have I upload more videos? I was perfectly willing to go HD if that's what people wanted, but I thought maybe it was just better if I could keep uploading at the speed I did. And people agreed, so that's why. It's what people wanted, and I deliver. That's it. It was okay. That's not a question, but thank you for your questions. Next is Riston. One of the games you are definitely going to LP. Well, The Witcher 2 is definitely on schedule at some point. Chris has been kind of hard on my money, so I'll probably be on the other end of January, but that will be coming at some point. Also been looking at some other games. Nothing definite yet, but can't say I'm definitely going to. But I've been looking at some different games. As I already said, I'll be planning on LPing Bioshock Infinite whenever that one comes out. One of the games you're going to play, but not LP. Well, I'm currently playing Stronghold on my computer. I like the game, it's a good game, but I don't think I could actually LP it and make it interesting. Too much just staring at stuff happening and the same stuff over and over for it to be really interesting, in my opinion. Uh, Also, console games, I can't record those. I mean, I guess I could use my webcam to do that, but can't we just agree that that would probably end up being not good? Or would it? For now, anyway, I will say that console games like Catherine and stuff like that wouldn't be. Is there a particular genre you're going to avoid LPing, or is it free-for-all games to catch interest? I'm not going to LP sports games because I don't find them interesting. But other than that, well, I have kind of avoided the strategy game genre, mostly because I'm not sure how to make it entertaining. Because it's mostly, well, stuff like I play, for example, Civilization. I'm playing that, but I haven't LP'd that because I don't think I could make it interesting. But there might be other games in the strategy genre that I might be able to LP without it being boring. So yeah, the only genre I'm definitely not going to LP is sports games because I find those boring. Otherwise, it's pretty much free for all, and you're welcome to suggest any game you think I could make interesting. Best and worst LP moments. Okay, the worst that you can see is probably my first attempt at LP, in which I played the game King's Mountain. Only one session, and my god, was that horrible. Bad jokes all around. Not just the bad jokes, like the bad puns I come with and stuff like that. No, it was bad humor created by pure nervousness and an attempt to just be fun and entertaining, like forced fun. Horrid it was. The computer was shit, and the result was all kind of lag and slowdowns, and my god, was it embarrassing. I have deleted it simply because I couldn't handle it. But for the worst you can still watch, I would say you would have to go back to my Painkiller Let's Play. Specifically, the town level.
Yeah. Oh, another sign. It says hotel something. Hotel nothing? I think I see the remnants of some writing below there. But it looks like more like a, I don't know, piece of math? I don't know. Maybe just faded really badly.
My god. Just shoot me already. Best? Well, I could think of two. One is the best as in funniest, and best as in most awesome. They're very memorable in my opinion. For the funniest, I would still have to go with my original freakout in Painkiller Resurrection, where I just completely flipped out because the game was annoying me.
It must be some sort of... Oh, more ghosts! Of course! More ghosts! More ghosts! We want more ghosts! Big honking flocks of ghosts! Big spectral clouds filled with asses! I had enough of this! Who's responsible? Who do I have to find and slowly kill for being the perpetrator of this? This should be a crime! The Geneva Convention should forbid this kind of thing! Who the hell hated Painkiller so much that they decided to punish its fans by creating this pixelated piece of ass?
What fun times we had. For most awesome, I would have to go with Serious Sam the Second Encounter. Picture this. After a really long level, finding hordes of enemies. It's just me. Rana was there, but we kind of lost all lives, so it's just me left. And I had to go up against the end boss of the game. A boss whose difficulty has been upgraded for 2 players. I have no extra lives. Rana's only there as a voice in my head. And it's just me against a guy who can summon missile mechs and shit like that. And I won. I got no extra lives during that fight. I did not manage to get Rana back, but I won!
Come on! Fucking die! Die, you son of a bitch! Burn in hell! Burn! Burn! Nothing can stop ArachCobra! I am the Ultra Warrior! Rock on, Cobra! Fuck yes!
Give them a high five, people. That was fucking epic.
Yeah. My reaction to winning was a bit overly exaggerated, but adrenaline was pretty much just pumping through my bloodstream at that point, so yeah. What a climax. Would you ever try LPing a game that had no story to it, or at least no in-game story or cutscene, just action type thing? Does Painkiller count? Well, it had... Well, even games that are mostly gameplay at least have minimal story nowadays. You pretty much have to go with an arcade game or something like that to completely avoid story. And many of those even have something. But yeah, if such a thing exists, and I could think I could make it interesting, but sure, I don't see why not. But most games that don't have a story, wouldn't that be like sports games, like 2 teams just play football? But if there is in other genres, well, sure. Any interest for strategy games? Well, I pretty much already answered that. Yes, I play strategy games. Heroes of Might and Magic, King's Bounty, I tried to LP. Might actually go back to that. Haven't touched it since my failed LP of it. Stronghold. Any others I can think of right now? StarCraft. Command and Conquer. So yeah, I tried plenty of different strategy games. Any old games you remember fondly or play still till today? Well, as I said, many Amiga games. James Pond, Super Frog, good old classic games. Had an emulator to play them on my, not the computer I started LPing on, but an older one than that. Wonder Dog, stuff like that. I remember those very fondly. Also, some of the more classic PlayStation games, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. Sadly, those games have aged and, well, been cleaned by age. That's basically it. They've been used a lot. But yeah, I remember those very fondly. So that's it for Riston. Serious Noob 72 asks, what was the first game of the FPS genre that you played? I think that would be Nightmare 3D. I remember playing that. Or the shareware version of Doom. Not sure which one of those I tried first. They came on a game disc which had shareware for a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure I tried Nightmare 3D first, and it scared me back then. Which is quite silly, if you've seen the game. Yeah, real scary. How long have you been in the PC gaming world? Well, well, that would be since I've been 4 or 5 years old. Mostly trying games on my mom's dad and mom had a computer that I could play on. Didn't have many different games, but I loved those few that were, mostly demo versions and stuff like that. I remember one game that was like squirrel fighting romance. Very weird game. Uh, but yeah. So yeah, I've been in the PC gaming world for a long time. Practically grew up with it. Do you know any programming language, coding, scripting? Well, no. I really don't. Unless you count being able to use the Heroes of Might and Magic map editor or RPG Maker, but I doubt that. Do you ever play any game that have a single player campaign online? Not counting those awesome Serious Sam death matches, but rather an online single player campaign. Well, I played Left 4 Dead at one point. Other than that, I can't really remember games with a single player campaign online. Well, I played Fear Free, that definitely counts. But other than that, I can't really remember any games that were like that. Which I think is a missed opportunity. Does World of Warcraft count? Because you can play that single player, technically. But yeah, I can't really think of any other games but the ones I mentioned. And that's all for now. And well, that was all the questions. So thank you everyone for sending in the questions. This was fun, and who knows, maybe I'll be doing one when we reach 200 subscribers. This has been ArachCobra, and this has been your questions, answered hopefully to your satisfaction. If I misunderstood any questions, or you feel I didn't give a satisfying enough answer, just post that in the comments here, and I'll probably get back to you. So yeah, see you around, folks.